What's the word, YouTube? Samio checking back in with another video. Today's topic, how to improve your conversation and communication skills, right? We're gonna jump right into it. The foundation of this is active listening, man. So you probably like, Samio, what's active listening, man? Okay, active listening is actually opening your ears to hear what the person has to say, right? So what are some key components of this? Maintaining eye contact, right? One thing my father always told me that I appreciate is to look people in their eyes when I'm talking to them or when they're talking to me, man. That's one principle that my dad taught me as a kid, like as a little kid, that stuck with me. So always maintain that eye contact. That's like sign of respect right there. Avoid interrupting the person when they're talking, man. This is a pet peeve of mine, like, cause I'm the type of person, you know what I'm saying, especially if we're having a verbal disagreement. I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna let you get all your stuff off, and I'm gonna listen. Because what are you doing? I'm listening to gain understanding from you, and I'm also listening to give you a rebuttal that has substance, right? So same thing, even if you're just having a regular conversation, listen, man. People appreciate when you listen to what they're saying, right? And you don't have to keep asking them the same question. Oh, I just said that, you know what I'm saying, 2 seconds ago. Like, you ever been texting somebody and they ask you questions that you already answered before? That's like the most annoying thing, and it's clear that they don't have interest or that they're not paying attention. So always, you know what I'm saying, be listening. You got to summarize and paraphrase from what the person is saying. So, you know what I'm saying, how can you do that? From listening, right? You can break down what they said. Okay, so you said this, right? So does that mean this? Does that mean that? Like, you have to ask clarifying questions as well. Like, break down what they said, and this is how you can catch somebody in a lie as well. But just repeating what they said. You said this verbatim. You only be able to know what somebody said verbatim if you're actively listening. Okay. So that's the foundation of this, man. Active listening. Okay. Number two, nonverbal communication. So one key point is maintaining an open posture, right? What's open posture? You don't have your arms folded. You don't got your back turned on them. You're not, you know, looking around, like your attention is directed towards that person that's talking. You also have to use appropriate facial expressions and gestures, right? So, you know what I'm saying? If you talk to a shorty, right? And shorties, they'll tell you some stuff, man. You'll learn some stuff if you get to talk to a chick and you don't judge them. Don't be judgmental, man. They might tell you something that you might be thinking like, oh, damn, this, you know what I'm saying? You like, hey, damn, you know what I'm saying? You're a little out there, baby. But, you know what I'm saying? In order to make that person feel comfortable, you can't be judgmental in your facial expression. So try to keep your facial expression very neutral. You know what I'm saying? You might want to smile with your eyes, not necessarily with your mouth. And just try to stay neutral, even if they say something that's kind of like off, like what? You know what I'm saying? And I have to work on that myself because like I wear my thoughts on my facial expression. I'm like very animated, so that's a tough one for me. You also have to pay attention to the person's body language, right? Like, how are they when they're talking to? Is the chick fidgety? Say for instance, if you talk to a young lady, is she fidgeting with her hair? Like, that's showing that she's nervous. So, you know what I'm saying? You might be nervous, and you don't even have a reason to be nervous because she's the nervous one. You know what I'm saying? What is she doing? Is she touching all on you when you're talking to her? Like, what's she doing? Is she, you know what I'm saying? Is she looking like when you say certain things, like, you know what I'm saying? Does she look like she ready to go? You know what I'm saying? Because if she ready to go, bro, you don't got to talk her head out, bro. Just let her go, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's never that deep. And also, last thing, when it comes to nonverbal communication, is like mirroring the person that you're talking to. So if you're talking to someone and they're using a lot of hand gestures and stuff, kind of mirror them. It's a psychological thing that kind of gets people to gravitate towards you. You know what I'm saying? If they're laid back, sitting back in their chair, you know know what I'm saying, sit back in their chair. If they're like leaned in, really into the conversation, kind of mirror that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That gives people, you know, a feeling of trust. And we're not trying to trick anybody, but you know what I'm saying, it's just a subtle tactic to, you know what I'm saying, get your point across a little bit more effectively. Okay, now let's talk about starting conversations, right? My best advice is to just keep it simple, man. Whenever I'm talking to women, I don't come with no pick 'em line. I just, you know what I'm saying, keep it very simple, you know what I'm saying? Pick something from the situation and just piggyback on that. So you want to always use open-ended questions. That encourages dialogue, like a back and forth conversation, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever been texting a chick, right? And she like, you like, yeah, so what you got going on? Nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some women are just like that. They probably don't even want to talk to you. But some just need a little bit more probing and they need you to really guide the conversation. So you gotta ask those very, you know what I'm saying, meaningful and thought-provoking questions. You know what I'm saying? You also want to find common ground, you know, and share interests. Like I said, if you want to like this and this all this stuff translates to professional settings. This translates to like networking, you know, and you know if you want to, you know, get a young lady, you know what I'm saying. All this is transferable. So you want to find them common interests because people feel they trust you more when you find, you know, common ground, like build that rapport. And with that being said, even if it's something that you're not familiar with, you have to show a genuine interest and curiosity in the other person. Like say for instance, you're talking to a foreign chick. She might be from Nigeria or something, and you don't know much about Nigerian culture. Tell me more about your culture, and like really be genuinely interested in her culture. Like don't fake it. Really like want to learn something new. Like she can teach you something new about Nigerian culture. So really be intrigued and like try to, you know, embrace the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's just giving you one example. Okay. Now we're talking about building rapport, right? Rapport is like common ground. It's very, very vital. So you have to maintain this friendly and welcoming demeanor, right? How do you do that? Smile, open posture. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting snappy. You're not cutting people off when they're talking. You know what I'm saying? This all intertwines, right? Also with that, you can use the mirroring techniques and and practice, you know, empathy and understanding. Like I'm telling you, like I said, man, if you practice understanding when you're talking to people, don't be judgmental because who are you to judge, right? You know what I'm saying? Only God can judge. So never judge somebody when you're having a conversation. You're really just getting to know them a little bit more in depth. They may tell you some stuff that you may not want to hear, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But always remember, we're human. People make mistakes, so you can't be judgmental. You know. All right. So now let's talk about handling difficult conversations, man. Larry Jones said it best, man. You can't call yourself a man if you can't keep your composure, man. Like straight up, like you get hit with a difficult question, man. Stay calm, and cool, calm, and collected. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a moment, breathe, think about the question. That's where active listening comes in. Think about the question, focus, and have a intelligent response. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the issue or the conversation rather than attacking the person. You know what I'm saying? Never, never, you know, attack people, especially when you're having a disagreement, because they're gonna get closed off and get what's the word I'm looking for? They're gonna get very defensive. So always talk about what they're saying, not about, you know what I'm saying, don't focus on them. Don't make them feel like a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Focus on what they're saying. So you're saying this, I don't agree with that. You know? And always like when you're listening, offer solutions to an issue, man. If you have good problem solving skills or if you can like just think quick on your feet, just offer a solution to the problem or a compromise. Like that's one thing I learned like from like reading sales books and like selling and business and stuff is like never say what you can't do. Always talk about what you can do. Like say, you know what I'm saying? So it might be a situation where it's something that's going against your principles as a man. But you don't necessarily have to say, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that." Even though some cases you may have to just say that. I'm not really, interested in doing that. But what I can do, like give options of what you can do. Always, you know what I'm saying, give options. You know. Um, so these are some things you can do to practice, and expand your communication skills, right? You can do role playing. I know a lot of y'all have sisters, cousins, women best friends, man. You can role play with them. We ain't trying to be on no incest type stuff. It's just role playing to get you more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable doing things by repetition, right? So you know what I'm saying? You might be bad at opening. So get your homegirl or whatever, like, hey man, help me open up and just start a conversation. You might be bad at closing. Work on that. You might be bad at just keeping the conversation going or like being awkward. Just work on those things. Another way you can do it is like by joining things like Toastmakers, or like different groups where you have to do like public speaking and stuff. Like public speaking, I know it terrifies a lot of y'all. I was one of those guys, hated public speaking when I was growing up. But then the older you get and the more you do it, it's just second nature. But the thing about it is, what builds confidence with public speaking is when you know what the fuck you talking about. Like whenever I had to do a presentation for school or whatever, and I didn't really study like I should have, I was nervous as heck. But when I studied that stuff and knew it like the back of my hand, you know, it was a breeze, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just work on those things. And the last thing, man, reading and learning, man. You have to read. You have to always be learning. Women like guys that can teach them things, man. How can you teach somebody some stuff? By learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, so read, you know what I'm saying? Stay up to date on stuff, especially if it's stuff that you're interested in. I know some guys don't like reading, so you might want to get into audiobooks. But the easiest way to get into reading is to read stuff that you're interested in. Like it don't matter what it is. It could be a magazine, it could be whatever. Like just always be learning, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the video, man. If you find any of this information useful, or if you like the video, man, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, man. Join the family, become a member, man. Until next time, Samio checking out.